All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trek Talk. I'm TechMan16.
Bing bong, fuck your life.
And I'm Handy.
I'm Morgoth. That was cool. Our returning champion Boom is here with us. Boom, how are you?
I am Peachy and Bing Bong. What? You're so fucking weird.
You don't know about Bing bong?
You don't know about Bing Bong? You haven't heard about Bing Bong? Hey, Bing Bong you, man.
I'd like to also take some time that I feel like when we Boom should be allowed to announce himself as well.
I don't feel like I'm not allowed. I just feel like it's weird.
Oh, well, fuck you then.
Nah.
You're entering like
boom.
Who do we got? Who do we got up here?
Moving right along. Morgoth is here with us. He's from server 45. How you doing, Morgoth?
Doing good. How's everybody doing?
Your handle reminds me of something from Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't remember what it is.
Handle. The name?
Yeah. It was something about like a
Lord of the Rings character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, there's something in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they were playing dice monsters or whatever. It just sounds like the name.
Dude, I used to get into this shit. I used to get in that shit back in the day.
We are on a Star Trek podcast. Who here is not a nerd?
Yeah, that's kind of a good point, man.
Dude, I'm fucking giving you shit. I still have Magic the Gathering cards. I mean,
anyway, who else do we have up here?
And then we have MadameStarGazer from 66. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Excellent. We are doing great now that you're here. As
Thank God.
If anybody wants to listen to 34 nonsense, feel free to read the 34 chat on our server.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore.
That exploded for some reason.
Nonsense. We should totally talk about 34.
No, nobody wants to hear about that shit anymore, dude. I'm from 34 and I'm fucking sick of it, and I'm saying that we're not fucking talking about that shit anymore. Fuck that. Fuck the war. Fuck the server.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that train. So if you don't want to talk about Picard, we're not talking about 34. Let's go over
I'm from 66 and I've read enough of it.
There you go. There you go.
See? Everybody's fucking sick of 34. Like, server 34 is like the United States. We feel like we're more important than we really are.
It's just entertainment. How can you not be entertained by it?
I don't know, man. You know what?
Entertaining.
Here's the deal. I love Star Trek, but if I were to have to watch the same episode of Star Trek fucking every week for months, I'd probably be ready to suck start a Glock. So,
well, it's like a car accident. You can't help but look.
No, we can. That's why we're not looking. We're not even allowing those parties to drive anymore. Your license is revoked. Thank you. Bing bong. Fuck your life. Moving on.
All right. Stargazer, how you doing? What's going on there on your server? Did you just get rid of your level cap and you can go up to 50 now?
Yeah, they did. We've got probably like 4 members right now. That's probably got 41. They've moved to 41 so far.
Damn, I want to go to that server so I can be the most powerful person.
So tell us more about it.
Ours is more quiet. Ours is a quiet server mainly. In the beginning, we had quite a few wars and stuff, and great. But now, no, we don't.
How old is is your server roughly? Like, for example, how long have you been playing and so forth?
I've been playing about a year now.
Okay.
And I started probably a couple weeks after the server started.
That's weird. I guess I don't know.
I'm guessing at that.
I really want to know, and if someone could find out, if anybody can find out, we will give you your own episode on this podcast so we can get Handy to shut the fuck up. And if you could find out what the level cap is for the servers, like what scope these guidelines are, because I haven't been able to find it, and I don't know anybody else that has. Like how many members on each server before they have to, then create a new server and so on. I'd be interested to see those metrics.
Me too. I'd
I
have
think
to
it
ask
has
some
to do
people to
with
check in that.
It has to do with the uptake of the game.
Also, I don't think they want people from old servers mixing with the new servers because number one, they have that the prices are different. What you get in the packs are different. That's why they do the merges because they basically don't want to mix a new server and an old server.
And everyone, welcome to the stage, VReddy, the beast from the east.
Dude, that's awesome. Does he have intro music too? Because that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
but it's one of those fucking like Indian fucking guitar sitar looking things. So I don't know. I can't imitate those. So he's gonna have to bring his own shit.
Did any of you watch the new Picard?
No, not yet. We're not talking about it yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was pretty good.
Well, how about this? You guys can talk about Picard if I can talk about 34.
Okay. That settles it. Never talking about Picard ever on this show.
That's fine.
I've been watching it.
So yeah, no, we made it. We made it like the first 30
though?
seconds in, and then my wife was like, "Oh, I got to go do something," and then she went to bed. So didn't happen. And if I watch it without her, then it's going to be a bad day.
Watch it, but don't tell her, and watch it again with her.
Oh yeah, just do that. Do the
That's
animated series Captain
playing
Kirk
with fire right there.
Do the animated series Captain Kirk, where he's got his hand over his face, like, oh, like, oh wow, it's surprising.
I always used to slip up and go, I already watched it. I would never remember.
Man. Nah, dude. I mean, and kind of also like to me, it does do like if it's a show that I watch with my wife, or any like one of my buddies and we used to watch this show, called shit. What the fuck was it? Anyway, it was an ex-CIA guy, and he was like trying to save people's lives based on their social security number.
Okay. Yeah, what do you call person of interest?
Person of interest, exactly. Yeah, person of interest. That was fantastic, and it was really good. And
it was good until the last couple of seasons. It really got it.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid. I didn't like it when they killed what's her name off because she started that other show, Empire or whatever.
The cop off.
Yeah. But so we were watching that, and then like one of my buddies ended up watching an episode without me, and honestly, it just made me lose interest because I was like, fuck. It was like a thing that I did with my buddy, like that was a show that we had scoped out together and everything. So, yeah, I try not to do that to my wife.
That was like way back in the day. We had my two roommates and we played Resident Evil, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, you had to all sit and play together, and then one of those motherfuckers would get up and play in the middle of the night, and you'd turn on the next day, and you'd be in a different place, and maybe they ate all your herbs, and you're like, the fuck?
That definitely. Hold on a minute. That definitely sounds like college. You wake up and somebody ate your herbs.
Yep, it really was.
Like, what the fuck, man? Last time I logged in, I was close to the fucking helipad, and now I'm at the ending credits, and the weed's gone. What the fuck, Frank?
Yep. Oh, it's always fucking Frank's fault.
Yeah, that shit was fucking. That shit was nuts. The very first Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I remember how awesome I used to think that game was, right? And so then they came out with it. They re-released it, and I got one of those Nintendo Switch consoles, so I saw that they released it, and it was like $10, and I was like, oh, sweet. I went to play it. My fucking eyes hurt. I started to get a headache, and I thought it was the most boring game in the fucking world. I forgot. I guess, it's like the people, their idea of muscle cars from back in the day, like, they're like, oh, they were so fast. And I'm like, dude, those cars went 0 to 60 in like 7.5, 8 seconds. But the nostalgia makes you, it plants this thing in your brain where you're like, oh man, it was so great. And then you get your hands on it again, and you're like, this actually kind of sucks, man. This isn't all that great at all.
So out of curiosity, I hadn't been listening to Rev or DJs recently. What kind of bullshit are they saying about the new art? Do we get to mine some more? Because that would be cool.
I mean, he hasn't really told anything. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it was a very odd, hint. I didn't get it. But it's definitely another, what would you call it, Ferengi arc. That I can guarantee that everybody
Well-
knows that. We just don't know what it's going to be.
There's going to be hints today.
Sorry?
Oh, so excited.
I mean, I just hope I get Arok, dude. I didn't want to pay for him, and I'm 10 shots short. It's just pissing me off.
Oh, it's worthless. If you have and this is a big if you even bother to mine Latinum.
I do.
So okay. So I'll tell you. So the max you can do with the Freesia, you can drain the or if you have the max Freesia with like a standard mining crew, you mine at like 860k an hour. And if you have the full Ferengi synergy with whatever it is, Fess or whatever the fucker is as captain, obviously early tier, but that bumps you from like 860 to like 940k an hour. It's like,
Okay.
gee, thanks.
No, but basically why I want him is because I'm not paying for it. I had 3 or 4 maxed rewards which I just scrapped and made them into free shares.
Mm-hmm.
And I want so the mining rate is not very high. So I
Right,
want to
'cause
make a Horizon or one
can
of
only
my
tier
other
one of
miners
them.
into. Yeah, I'm only tiering one of them. I got one to tier 2, but I'm talking about a free to play. I haven't paid a single penny for this.
Mhm.
And apparently, if you put Arok on a Horizon or a maxed faction miner or a water, it mines at like 150 or 160. So basically, you're essentially getting yourself an extra tier 1 Frisia.
And did you actually max the Frisia out?
Yeah.
Why?
Warp range.
There was an event in warp range.
All right.
Yeah, I would love that warp range. Oh god, I get
Yeah.
killed so much by these fools. I'm at war,
Wait.
right?
Wait.
Literally, my miners are killed all the time.
Handy,
so-
did you ask
me-
if Inch just upgraded something and asked why?
Well,
it's
yeah.
kinda
I
silly.
mean, usually he thinks about stuff a little bit. You know?
Well, but it wasn't. I mean, it was like a few packs or something. Like,
It was 9.
okay, so it was 9.
It was 8 or 9, I think. If I remember correctly, somebody was saying they maxed theirs. It was 8 or 9, 8 packs, I think, to T11. So I'm sure it was a pack or 2 more. So 9 packs or something like that. I just converted all my divorce to free shares. So I have 4 free shares now.
Yeah, but now the problem is you can't get rid of them.
I don't want to. I mean, basically the guy on my server. See, I don't spend much, but I'm a 52. So as much as the guy who's a 54, who's going to go to 55, he has a higher NOAA than me. He has all T9 faction miners, and he has the super highways. So for me to compete with him is the only way to compete is lat. There's no way I can win with him if I go head on head with G4 or G5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
the only problem is that the highest CLAT area you can't disco to, so you can't get your Frisias out there. You can get
of course
the
you can
second
disco
one.
there. Of course you can disco there.
No, it's warp 3, 4.
Oh, that one.
There's-
That one. Okay. I thought you were talking about the other one. 205. For the first couple of events, nobody knew that the 205 could be gotten. They didn't use their brains to use Scotty. So me and all 3 of us from my alliance who could get there were just mining there without anybody hitting us for the whole event.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened was the only way they found out is because the first time they had that PvP event, they pointed it to that particular system.
To that area.
So that's how they figured it out.
Yep. Same thing happened on our server.
Yeah. No, they were so stupid they didn't even figure it out that existed.
Yay, mining Latinum.
Actually, let's go back to 66 for a sec. So why is it so quiet on your server?
We don't have we have wars. We have this one guy that's not quiet. Oh my god, I like to smack the hell out of him. He likes to go to war over stupid stuff. He went to war, still on war with us because someone stole his lat node. And I'm like, really?
That sounds like an
Okay.
reason. I mean, those are in short supply out there.
Well, it's a regular node. regular
Well then,
I'm being
regular
sarcastic.
Devore. I mean, he's like level 31, and he's got like 3 members in his whole alliance.
He's got a lot to learn, obviously.
Yes.
What's the
What's-
Sounds
average?
like somebody needs a Coke and a smile.
What's your code of conduct like there?
Code of conduct.
Yeah, do you have one? Do you have a row,
Oh yeah, we do basic row.
such as?
You only hit minors if they're OPC.
Ah.
Um.
no loot, don't shoot.
basically. Yep, exactly. Um.
And that's it, or?
Territory you can hit, but do not hit on a Xeno because you can't do nothing with it. So they say they don't want them hitting Z nodes in territory. Which if they're OPC, then they can.
What's
hit
a Z node?
0.
0 node?
Is that it? Anything else?
Pretty much it. Yeah. Just basic.
It'll get more complicated. Just you wait.
Shit, that sounds amazing.
We've got some. What I have to look on my server because we did some amendments to ours.
You can tell
Are
Matt
they?
cares about those amendments.
So, what's your ops level for those of us that are listening to you, so we can get an idea?
Oh, mine's just 34. I'm level 34 right now.
That's a good
I'm
place.
working on 35. I still have
It's a good place to be.
14 days.
No, that's a good place to be with especially with how young your server is. 34 in like a year, like that's actually a pretty good clip.
No, but it's actually gotten much easier to get to the 30s than when we were younger, when we were starting off, because they're giving a lot more materials, they're giving a lot of things have
See?
changed.
Here he goes, VReddy. He's the parent who went to school and had to walk uphill both ways in the snow to and from school.
With his dick out.
I still
don't want
remember when we were 28 and we were like trying to one person won that event. Now it doesn't even matter. But in those days we used to hunt those people who won those events. Do you remember that? To raid them so that because that's the only way you could progress.
Well, it's like when they actually had the first jelly event.
Okay.
The first person to get the jelly was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Basically, when the jelly came out, there were only 236s on my server. So we both basically took turns and we won both the first 2.
Yeah. Well, that was convenient.
There's and if you remember when the jelly first came out, that was before they did something to it. Because when the jelly first came out, it was a bad motherfucker.
No, I don't think they changed anything.
Oh,
The
they did?
only thing they changed for the jelly is they added the skin to it.
Yeah, it never was. I mean, the jelly was always okay for farming, terrible at PvP.
It was good for armadas though because of its ability.
Correct.
Yeah. If you could get it to hang in
general.
the fight, yeah, it would do really well.
Yeah, you had to basically stack it with something that would keep it in the fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just because at the time when all you had was the G3s, it was nice. You had all this warp range and whatever. Yeah, that was nice.
I never got the jelly.
It's a good transitionary ship.
No, it was needed. See, when jelly
Right.
was needed for us, it's not needed anymore because we needed the warp range. Now they have Franke, they have Frisha, so they don't need the need for jelly is not as much as it was for us.
But here's the thing,
Right.
and the one thing that if you don't spend a lot of money, we've talked about it ad nauseum, so I'm just going to touch on it real quick, and then we're going to move on. The thing is, if you're not a decent spender, if you're more free to play or you're very budget friendly account, you do need the jellyfish. Okay, don't let anybody tell you any otherwise. Because here's the thing. For example, I have a tier 5 or tier 6 or something. I don't know. I haven't really actually logged on to the game in like a week, but I have like a tier 5 or tier 6 Valdor, and then I have a tier 6 jellyfish. So my jellyfish can do a lot of mopping up, especially since I have the USS Constellation skin. It can do very, very well with the PvE. And when it's destroyed, it takes less than 4 million tritanium to repair it. On the other hand, my Valdor takes like 60, 70 million tritanium to repair it. So when you start talking about cost effectiveness and grinding, you absolutely want the jellyfish. Unless you just want to be throwing money at a faction ship. And it's just unnecessary because the amount of extra kills you're going to get is really actually not enough to warrant that. You're actually wasting tritanium. No matter how you try to cut it and spin it, you're wasting millions of tritanium, tens of millions of tritanium.
Definitely. In fact, my suggestion, if you can, unless you're doing a lot of PvP, I actually skipped the uncommons. I went straight from jelly to Pilum.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I got the Valdor because I am now pretty much free to play. I get the battle pass, but that's it. But I got the Valdor because I know that it's going to take me a long time to get 46. And so I figured, fuck it. I'll get the Valdor because I get plenty of parts and materials from the jellyfish event and the Parabellum event and things like that. So it works out really well for me.
Yeah, especially I make sure you do every single officer recruit SMS. Those give out, they don't look a lot, but they add up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm at the point now though where it's not ship parts. I have, 50, 60, 70,000 uncommon ship parts. It's the gas because everything's competing for the G4 gas now at 43.
Yeah, but 50,000-60,000 parts is not much if you want to start work on a 46 at some point. They take a lot of parts.
Well, yeah, but again, you have to think that I'm not going to get to 46 for at minimum another year. That's minimum at the pace that I'm going right now. So it's going to take forever and a day. I've dropped in placing from, I went from at one point I was like 60 something in power in the server. And I dropped to like 140 and then 160, and I'm probably close to 200th in the server now. I mean, I don't spend any money, and a lot of other people are ramping up their spending because things are getting more expensive, and I went the opposite direction.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't only spend $20, but I don't spend anything compared to most of the other 50 pluses. I spend a couple of hundred here and there. That's about it.
I'm free to play.
You're full of shit.
I haven't bought a pack today.
I would like
Today.
to. I would like to ask another question. It's something that I just now started the conversation not that long ago in our admin chat. But I mean, people's idea about if we were to start a store for Trek Talk where we sold merchandise, would people actually be interested in that? Would any of you actually be interested in that? Comment, let us know. If you are interested, if you think it's a dumbass idea, I'll kick you, and then we can just go from there.
I'm just saying,
there's no harm. You're not going to do it. You're not going to lose anything by putting it because I'm sure it's made to order. I mean, personally, I wouldn't. I don't generally buy merchandise, but I'm sure there are people who might. There's no harm in just putting a store up, and if you get a few, you get a few.
We know that Inch loves to throw money around, so just target his interests. We'll get money off of him.
But I'm just saying, you steal Gary, I'm getting my cut.
Well, yeah, we would actually have to cut you into it. But what if we made Gary the Hate Camel masks, surgical masks that you could actually wear while you're cutting up somebody's knee? Because you could actually wear that shit at work.
I definitely could. When I operate, I wear a spacesuit though. So.
Oh, well, we'll get you a full-on fucking suit, man.
Well, as long as it has a cape.
Dude, we'll get a cape with fucking Gary the Hate Camel on it.
Yeah. Are you talking about Tyvek? Inko, you wear Tyvek?
What? No, just a spacesuit. I mean, it's a helmet,
like an actual spacesuit. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was thinking I could call in a favor in DuPont and get some Tyvek Gary the Hate Camel printed suit.
He does have a t-shirt fetish.
I do, but see, my t-shirt fetish.
There's your sale right there.
Well, look. Number one, I'll still do anything for a free T-shirt. But number two, if y'all don't know, the Dive Bar T-shirt of the month club is just about the coolest thing ever. It's the only piece of mail that I actually look forward to. That is all.
Now looking
Alright.
good, Handy.
Oh my god, dude, you can't do that. You can't come up here and play your fucking soundboard.
Yeah, you can, because I invited him specifically for that.
What else you got? What else you got, DT?
We need to be acting like goddamn professionals. That is a lot.
We're- I mean, DT is good at clipping, and all of a sudden he's created this Parsi soundboard. And last night we're on voice chat, and I have to keep flicking my glance over towards Discord because I can't tell when it's DT playing the soundboard, when it's Pars. It's killing me.
I was sitting there in voice chat, and then I hear my voice, and I hear it go, "Man, seagulls are fucking gangsters, bro." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, eat a Twinkie, get Hot Pocket.
You tell Luna.
Oh my
See you guys
god!
playing in the water.
Oh my god! Jesus, fucking Hot Pocket! Jesus Christ! Oh Jesus! Oh,
So
Take
all
it
right.
serious out.
server capacity that you're talking about, it looks like there needs to be at least a minimum of 60 players per server for them to not require a merger. Like minimum, that's how many players need to be active, is at least 60.
60? That's it?
That's it. They have to have that as a minimum before they decide to do a merger. If it's any lower, and they have to be like inactive for a minute before they can do a merger.
God,
I mean, that's not even an alliance.
dude,
No.
you could basically
There's
win
there's
every
no
event.
way.
No, but that's what
We
happened with my old server, right? It started dying
they've-
out slowly,
they've
and towards the end of
merged-
it, we had 80 actives left.
They've
on our
merged
server.
servers with more players than that, so that's not
Yeah.
always the case.
Yeah, we have only 74 current servers, and several of them are just not active at the moment. I need to go back and look at which ones are and which ones aren't. But like server 66 is currently a priority 20, which is one of the lower priorities. Server 45 is a priority 1. And what was it? Server 34? I can look at that in a second. I'll
Cite
be
your
right back.
sources.
Well, I mean, you can give us your sources if you can. If not, then
I can forward you several different links, but knowing based on that I have to work on computers a lot while at my job, based off the server capacity of what we currently have, I'll forward you the links that I found so far of what
You can
people have
just-
been talking about. That's a
Yeah,
40.
just post them in the chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do it. Give me 1 second. I gotta go back and pull them up.
that's freaking super interesting. Thank you. Jeez, oh Pete. Anyway, Smooth, how you doing? What's up? How you? What the? Yeah. What? I don't know.
Nothing new here. Same old shit.
Are you talking to us through a prison toilet?
No, I'm moving around doing a bunch of different things.
Oh, are you juggling?
No, don't have that skill.
Oh, I understand. You know who does have that skill? Never
Who's
mind.
that?
I'm not gonna. That was gonna be a terrible joke, and it was gonna be at somebody's expense. I'm not gonna do that because then they'll cry about it and they'll blame Nona.
Yeah. Thank you for not mentioning that then.
Anyway, it was gonna involve juggling balls and bullshit, but you can guess. I'll let you all guess the name. I'll leave you to your own devices. Anyway, DT, what's up? Are you just fucking just hanging out? Do you actually have anything to say, or are you just gonna play us random sound bites?
Random sound bites, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm currently looking for the right reply.
He's scrolling his list.
No, just listening.
Just listening. Okay. Well,
Wait.
I'll kick DT back down to the audience.
Yeah, and Young put me back down there too. I don't really have nothing to say. I was just chiming in on Inch's t-shirt deal.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like t-shirts, especially cut off ones. I've heard. I don't know.
No, I can't do that. That's more of a Kirk thing.
What is? So
Cut-offs, tank tops.
yeah, that's me, man, all day long. Yeah. Okay, so there's a server 77. All right, far out. 8, 13, 18, 23, 28, 33, 30. Okay.
So
All right, I
that-
see him now.
Interesting thing. So, VReddy, why would you say why did your server die? Like, in what way? Like, was it like they had thousands of people and then?
Basically, initially when I started, I was just a turtle. I was just doing my own thing. I never PvP'd. I never spoke to anybody. I was just joined the alliance, and I was just doing my own thing until I got raided one day. After spending 100, I remember I spent $200 to get the legionary, and in those days, the titanium and all you got then was a lot. I mean, it was so. I got raided, and that by then I think maybe we had about 300-400 actives, I think. And then me and this other guy started raiding the server like crazy because I was pissed off. And I think I personally made 100 people quit because I raided them too much. And then slowly people just started quitting, and it ended up being like 80 actives and about 100 and another 100 semi-actives. It got really bad at one point. And when that's why it was so different when we merged suddenly.
So what you're saying is it was all your fault for raiding?
No, everybody raided. I raided my enemies.
You killed your server. How could you do that?
Yeah, what an asshole.
Yeah. Man. Just cutthroat.
This guy called me and Pat. They called us. I mean, we were the duo that basically used to. They actually thought we were like using a bot to find them when their shield falls because we used to scan so much. I can't even imagine doing that now. I think I'll shoot myself if I have to do it.
Oh, I do it several times a day now for war effort. It's reminiscent of back in the day.
I go to specific systems for like with math systems. I won't scan every single system. In those days, I used to scan every single systems before G4, like all the G3 systems, because we used to try and find people in home and with their shields down.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't do that anymore. I don't even raid.
Well, I mean, I don't raid. I crack.
Yeah, if somebody asks me to crack, I crack it for them, but I don't really look.
But because we're currently in a war, so like my bookmark page, because I updated it last night while on a VC, I've got 40 bookmarks. And I'm looking in every level 1 system, every faction system, and some of our other players are tasked to scanning the DS systems, and it's hilarious. Like all the old stuff, like those old crappy areas that were like the random like 38s outside of faction space.
Yeah, right on top of each one almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one next to the mining systems. Yeah, those are the home systems. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones next to what was that main?
The
Next to
independent mining systems.
Nakosa, those little random 37s. Like I love looking at them. Like it's very reminiscent of back when I raided.
Yeah, back in the day, once you got to that system, like when you were in the low 30s, you thought you were hot shit before they added deep space. Because it was hard for other people to be able to get up to you. Unless they were high level, of course. But
So I'm surprised. I hear that apparently Nona's in a war. When did that happen?
Nona's been in a war.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah.
Also, I am curious. This thing you linked with the unofficial status. Like I looked at a few servers. It's like priority 1, priority 1, priority 1. Then I just randomly clicked on US 76. It says priority 70. What the fuck is this priority number?
Priorities is what they require for maintenance. Like just like we have at Duracell, we have to prioritize certain servers. The priority ones are the servers with the most capacity or the most people that are active. Those ones they tend to keep as a priority for maintenance purposes. Those ones come in under maintenance first, and then then they work on the next one. Like if they're high priority, like 1, then they're the ones that they consider that have the most people. They don't need to really mess with. They just have to, do the certain bug fixes. But like the lower priority servers have fewer people and will have a less tendency to bug out because there's not so many people there. It's all based on mathematical statistics. If let's say you have a server full, like I said before, about 60 players as a minimum of actives, then those will be in the priority 20s at least. Now, if you have created a new server, those priority 70, like you said, or anything higher than that is like one of those almost dead servers. Those ones will probably be the ones to merge first. But they only will merge a server with a bigger server if possible, or an equal amount, just to keep the balance between those two. So then if they merge too big together, they're going to have a lot of bugs and a lot of issues.
Wait, this game has bugs?
Well, no shit.
It's interesting to me that all the newer servers appear to have horrendously low priority.
Yeah, that's a common thing. They're not going to focus too hard on those newer servers, whereas these servers that have been active for such a long time. Take server 46 and 47 when they merged together, and that was kind of chaotic. A lot of people were talking about it, but it was 2 medium-sized servers that they put together because of the less active player base. But like having a server with I wish we could pull someone in from one of those newer servers if they knew about this channel, and we could talk to them about how buggy it is or how less of the issues they have, and it's just kind of do a comparison in between a server that is pretty big, like 45 and 34. 34 is pretty decently sized, but like server 66, that's a priority 20. That's a semi-new server.
So it's interesting. So obviously, you're in the biz, so to speak. This was something that was brought up and deleted from DJs a while back about like some of the inner workings and who does what and whatnot. But so what you're saying is that it depends on the server of like a certain update and bugginess and that kind of thing. Like that, I find interesting. Like I assumed that it was software and they updated everybody at the same second. I mean, obviously, if it's hardware, that's different. But
it depends on the time zone. Like they said, there's 3 different versions. There's the European, there's the Asian, and then there's the the United States side. But when I say buggy, like bugging issues, the more people in a server, there's going to be a lot more bugs. Just like any other game system you can play, or even like I said, when it pertains to work, we have a lot of people that log into what we call proficient data recording, which a lot of people input their quality checks for making batteries. Now, if that server crashes, that's because they have to create a new server or end up adding a separate line. So then it's not going to crash. Now, when it comes to a lot of people in a server and it bugs out, like I said, like we get bugs all the time. You got like right now, I've been talking to ad devs about how like Doc G isn't allowing your ships to cloak. For me, I can't cloak my Valdor or any of my other ships. It's just there's going to be a lot more bugs involved because they won't cap out those other servers. Like like what was it? 66 just got capped to like level 50. I don't know how long ago. Madame would have to tell us, but they won't. They kind of slowly bridge those new servers up as they go, so they don't have to focus so hard on them. Now, for our server and many other servers that are high in people, you're going to experience those bugs, and then they have to try to fix one bug after another. And then if it becomes too much, like the two servers, like level one with 60 and another with 60, need to be merged together to kind of bring back all those people so that they're not they can all be focused on at one time. They ended up like 46 and 47. They ended up with a lot of bugs having to pertain to just that server now. You kind of see where are y'all following, or do I kind of need to elaborate a little more?
I nodded off.
No, it makes sense. What effectively he's saying is that the more people on a server, the more problems
No,
they have to
I know.
fix. That's effectively it. And if you're not a very populated server, your queue for fixing or your releases for the new type of content is going to be delayed.
Correct.
Yeah, see, as a
Mention was
cloud
last
architect, all I'm hearing is that makes it sound like they're operating as pets instead of cattle, which is just bad design.
Well, that's Scopely for you. They're really bad at that. And I think that we talked about that in a previous conversation about how they're not taking the time to fix the bugs. They're just throwing new content out. We talked about this, I think a couple, almost a month ago before, or right at the beginning of February. I brought it to when we were talking about with Kirk and Handy about how the servers were, they're not bothering to take the time to fix the server. They're just throwing new content out, which is creating even more bugs.
So it's a never-ending cycle of trying to get more money, but putting the fixes off into the background.
Pretty much is what it sounds like and feels like.
Hey, did Barrett ever get fixed as an officer?
He absolutely fires off occasionally.
Occasionally, like once every 15 battles.
I'd have to look again. It's more like once every 5 or 6, but once every 5 or 6, I'll notice he'll take a huge chunk out of Coronar. Not that matters to anyone.
Speaking of the devil, I haven't seen him around lately.
But one thing I was excited about was the Lorca SMS. It got me to T4. Random fact.
Yeah, we've had a fair number of people, be able to tier. Actually, a couple of people finally unlocked.
Yeah, but actually, if you realize, the milestones for the SMS were pretty high for us compared to other SMSs in normally. It's usually 1.7 million, 1.8 million. This was more like 2.3. Maybe it was higher for you.
I upgraded one gun and was done.
Yeah, I don't have. I basically was focusing on ships until now. I got my Corey to T5 and my Pilum to T7. So now I'm starting to refocus on research again. So I dumped all my maths on research.
Yeah, the Plum at T7 is kind of where you finally. I mean, that's kind of sweet spot for it really performs.
Yeah, I need it because I need 42. I need 52s for my faction dailies now. So I definitely needed the T7 Pilum. There's no other way for me to kill them, unless I want to go and relocate and all that. I didn't want to do all that nonsense.
No, that's you want to stay. You want to stay exactly where you are. That's the perfect, easiest, most reasonable rep gain at that level.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. What I want to do is I want to get both of them. I got my ROM up. I'm about 80 million away from getting my Klingon up to 1 point or whatever it is, 1.5 billion or whatever it is, and then I'm just gonna cruise. I'm just gonna hit Fed when I feel like it. I'm not in any hurry because maximum I'll get to is 53. I don't plan to go beyond that anytime soon.
Well, you definitely want that for superhighways.
Yeah,
and that's
the reason why I want to get to more than doing the superhighways. Even though Origin is is 54, right? The other three are 53. Oh, all of them 53.
I thought they were all 53.
I think the final one with the independent space and what Borg I think is 54.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Somebody told
but the other ones are 53, and that gets you most of what you need, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I want. I basically want the super highways. I'm almost ready to, free to play completely without buying a single pack. I have enough to get one of them done already, the Fed one, so that I can grind easier. Warp time goes down.
Oh, it's definitely very convenient. You know, if you're living in, you know, in double D space and in the earlier area of double D space, you know, your warp times go down significantly. It still sucks when you're in the higher areas, you know, because they really have boosted how long it takes you to flip around.
Yeah, I know. Like it's a tiny little area, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a reel or something." And it's like, "Oh, that'll be like 8 minutes, motherfucker."
Yep. I just hopped from where I normally farm is a 56 area, and just hopped up to go do my 60 dailies, and it's 13-minute warp.
And how many systems over is it?
It is a little flip around the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So it's because I'm farming in ROM space. It's the far northeast of Double D, and then the level 59 at the bottom. So it's basically 12 systems.
And how many minutes again?
13.
13 to go to. I remember the days when you start out in that lower system space where everything took like a minute to warp.
Oh yeah. It's gotten us significantly better. You know, for all the lower stuff is so ridiculously easy now. Like you can basically get anywhere in regular space in a minute with, you know, warp research and that kind of thing.
All right, back to 66 here because we keep getting off topic. So a guy went to war, keeps going to war for hitting Devore or Lat nodes because they're so hard to find.
No, he likes to mine in this one spot, and he thinks once he's on a node, it's his. I asked him if he had a magic marker that he puts his name on it that nobody can see. He just gets mad. He acts like a 15-year-old that, you know, you're taking my toy. I was like, well, I'll take more than your toy, buddy. I emptied him out, and then he really got mad. And
So is that the only problem you have on the server, or is
no,
that do you have more?
again, and pretty much, yeah. We really don't have a lot of big problems. The only problems we normally have is the lower alliances don't like because, you know, the top 5 alliances, you know, pretty much control the place, and they don't like that. But, you know, they get mad because if they get raided, you know, and stuff like that, and they're like, you know, join a bigger alliance, and, you know, can't help it. So
Did you mention to them there's this button on the right-hand side that prevents you from getting raided?
yeah, I told him, I said, you know, there's a thing called a shield. And if you put one on, then you don't have a problem with that. That's like one of my allies contacted me last night. And one of their guys were getting raided, and I said, well, how long's he been offline? He goes, well, over a day. I go, is he on Discord? Well, yeah, but he's not online. I said, don't matter. If he's got Discord, you can get a ping him, at least. So we had fun shooting ships and stuff. All of us joined in. And one of the guys that was raiding him, he said, are you having fun yet? And I said, I'm having a blast. Pull out again so I can shoot you. And we had went to war with them a while back. It was funny. He goes, I miss shooting your ships. I said, yeah, I miss shooting you too. Then he hit my base because I was too fast on hitting his miner. He goes, I'm sorry, I just had to do it. You're just too fast for me. I said, well, I'm touchscreen. I'm sorry if you're a phone or computer or whatever you're playing on. But you know, we really don't have a major problems. We've got some guys that pay a lot on the game, and they moved up quickly, that can like to go rogue and just start shooting armadas and shooting you in deep space or whatever. Or when you're on Latinum, they like to hit out in token space. But
Mhm.
other than that, it's just petty little stuff, mainly.
It's all the same stuff that happens on basically all the
Every
servers. It's interesting.
exactly, yeah.
Everybody gets a bee in their bonnet about some kind of this or that or whatever, and then there's some people that like to go rogue and hit everything.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
mean,
How many players on your server would you estimate?
Oh, I have no idea. Can you tell anyway?
Yeah, you can estimate based on like cow points. Like, how many alliances scored in cow?
Where do you look at that?
go back to your events.
Yeah, I'm looking at the vents.
No, it'll be gone now. It's reset right now.
Yeah, it's
So
gone. It
gone.
just resetted. I
Why
can look
don't
at
you go?
faction one.
You can go to the alliance. What was it? Just faction hunt? How many alliances
Yeah,
scored in
it's on
faction hunt?
52.
How many?
52 alliances scored in it, but the main ones did more.
Oh, jeez. You got like no people on your server.
But yeah, because a lot of those are alliances that have like 1 or 5. The main alliances, like the top 4, has 66, Laps has 73, Borg has 60, I have 67, Inum has 56, Zen has 65 players, Myth has 45 now. Silverbacks have 51, 67. Most of the bigger alliances have either anywhere from 60 to 70 players.
All right, and how long does it take to scroll until you start seeing like the eight person, 5-person alliance?
Rest in peace. Those are idiots, so I'm not counting them. 21.
All right, so you got, let's say, 20 alliances times 60 people. Got about 1,200, I guess. Times 80%, say 1,000 people that are active on your server.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not terrible. Interesting. All right, so you guys really don't have a lot of problems then, huh?
No,
Nobody's
not
showing up
really.
shit.
I mean, when we first started, yeah. It was a lot of the alliances didn't like either my alliance or Borg's alliance because we were the top 2. Then they got more alliances in, and changed names of several of them. But we was like the top 5. They really hated Borg and my alliance, but because
Why?
we were always allies.
So
Been
the top two, the top two are
right.
always allies.
Yeah, I've been allies with Borg since I started. Since I made my alliance, it was hilarious. And they were like, I got a feeling they're either family or this or that, and I'm like, no, only live in the same state.
And so why did they
But
hate? Why do they hate the Borg alliance?
well, I think Phoenix came from a different alliance, a different server, and he started over and came to ours, and he kind of taught everybody how to row and stuff, and then once we got more people coming in and more alliances started up, they all try to say, well, he's just telling everybody what to do. And I said, why? You can look online and see what the regular row is. No, he's not. And then when more things opened up, it was like, well, he's trying to tell everybody what to do. And I was like, no, he's not. Do what you want.
And so wars happened because of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, they get all mad. We had like 4 alliances having a war together, and it was us and Borg with 2 other alliances or 3 other alliances, and of course they were not as big as our alliances, so they really couldn't do much. Base raiding and hit miners all the time, but But it got settled out. They finally said okay, and then territories opened up, and that was a big old another old mess because they don't like it. Some alliances have 2, 3 stars, and
And you guys won't share.
we do within the. I mean, I don't care sharing, and I've got 1 3-star though. We only have 1 3-star, but there's some that have 2. Um, and I'll fill my stuff up and say, hey, come get it.
Hey,
And a
how
lot of
far?
and the allies will share. We'll share with allies, because Borg's got the gas and the crystal, and I've got the ore, so we'll trade off all the time as far as allies go.
How
But that's pretty
long
much so
into
far right now.
how long into your server did the territories pop up?
I'm trying to think. It's been a while, I know that. I guess they start. I would think. I'm 34 now, so I think when I turned like level 25 is when they started popping up. I'd have to ask some of the ones that's had territories longer to find out if it's with level or not.
I got a really important question for you, madam.
Okay.
What is your view on in-game memorials?
Oh God.
In-game memorials.
Yeah, just what do you think about them? Have you ever had anybody on your server do it?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've done several of them over the course of the year, especially
And you
with
only,
people passing from COVID and stuff like that.
but you only do it for players, right?
No, actually, we've done them for we did one a while back that just did for everyone that it had people that had lost loved ones that died through whatever, you know.
Seek and destroy.
So I'm curious though, like, have you had people do it because they're at war and they just needed a respite, or is it?
No,
Would you honor a memorial if somebody was doing that?
no,
I didn't think so.
no. I mean, we actually were in a war one time when we did one, and some of them didn't show up because they thought uh the people that actually wanted it is one of the ones that was big in the war. And I'm like, you shoot my ass, and I will kill every one of your players. And they're like,
Jesus.
no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. And I was like, okay, because I will shoot your dead, and then I will go raid your fucking bases. And they're like, well, that's not what we're going to do. I said, I'm watching you. And no, it was peaceful. It was peaceful. They didn't do a darn thing.
You see,
Like
Handy, we're
first
fucking
one,
assholes.
and the one of the guys made a comment about doing it, and he goes, "You do it, and I will kick you out of the alliance. I won't say a word. You'll just be gone."
Oh, Handy, it's not Handy. It's not looking good for you, dude. Sorry.
No, not really.
No, it's not looking good for you, buddy.
What?
I was just curious how other people saw this.
I
On,
feel
Not
like
looking
on
good. How?
45, they
this
just
is
don't honor memorials at all. They're just
this is one of those like the other guy's moments where he's like, "Did that go? That didn't go the way you planned, did it? Nope, no, it didn't."
Yeah, to me, memorials in game are, well, I mean, we've hit this before, but it just seems so ridiculous to me. Like, reach out to that person, talk to that person, put a little channel on your server community Discord. People can give well wishes. Sitting your ship somewhere, that's dumb. And I'm here to play a game. I'm gonna play.
Right.
If your ships are out, I mean, I haven't personally hit memorials, but I don't care if our guys do. Like, blow up whatever warships you want.
Right. I mean, the last one we did, we actually didn't do it in regular space. We did it in a territory because the guy had passed away, and he was in an allies alliance, and It was with Borg, and he contacted me. He said, "Hey, we're going to do a silent memorial for him. If you want to send a ship, send a ship next to his base." I said, "Sure." And his base is still, of course, in their territory. And we did, but and left it there all night. But the other ones, they were, they just wanted to do them because COVID and people dying from COVID. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll send a ship, but you ain't getting all of them.
That's about the attitude I expected. People do it, but it's like, whatever.
I'll send one ship. You're not going to get all my ships. Forget that.
Well, but nobody's too into it. They're just like,
No.
if everybody's being honest with themselves, they're like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people that are close to that person that felt it much more keenly, and maybe they're more invested in it. But for the most part,
those are the ones that send all their ships. They have like, every single one of them.
yeah, and they're flying around in a circle for an hour or something, or whatever they do. I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Just curious.
No, I don't know if it was because I'm on a dead server or not, but I never had a memorial on my server, ever.
That's because Europeans don't do silly stuff, or the rest
I'm
of
not
the world.
European.
Not they're European. The rest of the world is what I meant to say.
You Asians don't do dumb things at all, ever.
In a video game.
Ah.
I am not touching that one.
Yeah. I was obviously being facetious.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to liven it up.
I was
I
clearly
don't know
being
what I'm
facetious.
saying. I'm just talking out of my ass.
I mean, you want to liven it up? We can start back in on the S34.
No.
We will end. Hilarious to me.
I will make Craig leave this fucking stage.
I mean, we can touch on it a little bit.
We're not touching shit. We're not touching shit. We're not touching shit, man. That shit is.
What do you care?
Shit,
you haven't even heard any of it.
That fucking shit is radioactive, and we are barehanded. We're not going anywhere near it. We're leaving it the fuck alone. We're moving on. Anybody else have anything to say?
Yeah.
No,
they
not
like
you.
to lie. They like to lie.
Not you, Candy.
Not you. Not you. You're done. You're done. You've had too much.
Let's go back to Morgoth and talk more tech shit about Scopely's inability to do anything.
We could talk about that all day. It's never going to get fixed. Just saying. It would take him about 6 months to completely fix every single bug.
Morgoth sounds like what happens to a dude when he finally hooks up with the goth chick, and somebody asks him what he wants for the rest of his life.
Fucking I'm just saying.
He's like, I want big. I want big, huge, pale titties.
You don't know how accurate you are, bro.
I'm just saying. Like,
the floppier, the better.
No, not floppy, bro. Not floppy. No, pale skin. When you get done, you if you put your hand down on it, you come back and there's like you can see the outline of your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how pale we're talking. We're talking about translucent.
Oh no,
Never experienced that.
Yeah, I got engaged to one of those just recently. So yeah, I kind of. Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, probably stop while you're ahead.
I'm going there. I'll put my whole head there.
It's best not to engage, SK. Just saying.
No, but for tech reasons, I mean, it would take months to get this fixed because we have to do it on a daily basis. So you can imagine what Scopely would have to do to be able to fix their servers and eliminate.
To be able to fix the game, they'd have to rewrite it.
Yeah.
They just need to throw the whole server. They just need to throw the whole game away and start over.
No, like genuinely, like from talking to Ripper, he's like, yeah, there's no fixing this game.
No.
It's just more Band-Aids, and there's always going to be broken shit. It's just what it is.
And we talked about this before. There was a lot of job openings over there at Scopely. They look. I don't know if it was Scurvy somebody looked it up and saw a bunch of
DT looked it up.
Yeah, ET looked it up, and there was a lot of a lot of openings, especially in the tech department when I looked at it. So you know that they're really struggling to maintain anything at this point.
I think speaking of DT, I'm gonna go into his nickname and I'm gonna rename him.
But yeah, it would take. I mean, like I said, on a daily basis of how we operate at Dursa, on to fix shit like that, it would take them beyond 6 months at least.
DT, your new nickname's ready. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You changed it to Delta. Sorry, distraction. But no, it would just be so much work for them to have to do, and I don't think they're going to be capable of doing it anytime soon. At least not at the standards we want them to be at.
Well, it's already been discussed, openly and widely that they're understaffed. They don't have, they don't have people, et cetera, et cetera. So I wouldn't doubt that either.
Mm-mm.
Oh well, man. What are we gonna do when this game finally fucking goes under, man?
There's always Pornhub.
There is, but no one wants to see you naked.
I didn't say me.
The number of hits my page has says otherwise.
Well, that's because you turned your fucking an advertisement for your page into one of those clickbait things on a fucking mobile game where you can't escape from, and the X button is like the size of a cock hair.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's true.
Although one of those little mobile games, on a side note, I saw an ad for one and I had to download it. And it's basically a game where you run around and slap the shit out of people and try to outrun them as they try to catch you. It's actually pretty interesting. Just throwing it out
That
there.
sounds
Anyway.
like my plans for this evening.
That's hilarious. What's the name of that game?
Hold on, I'm gonna fucking tell you. It's called I'm looking at it. Hold on a minute. Where the fuck is it? Shit. Hang on, I'll let you know. Y'all continue. I'll hop in when I figure it out.
Eric, you changed his name again.
I didn't change his name. He probably changed his name.
Just talking to Squirt.
So, any speculation about next arc?
Hey, VReddy. It's called Slap and Run.
Okay.
It's called,
That
yeah.
sounds hilarious.
Hold on a minute. Let me.
Very creative naming.
Well, it's probably created by some guy in Taiwan or something. That's just using it to farm for money.
Oh god, it's not even graphics, it's just stick figures. It's basically stick figures.
Yeah, but it's fucking fantastic, man. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. You just run around and just slap the shit out of people. It's just fucking for no reason.
The video looks hilarious.
That's such a you game. I love it.
You know what? I would if I could get away with that shit. But knowing me, I'd end up slapping like Usain Bolt while he's on vacation in Tampa, and I'd get my ass handed to me while I was trying to run away.
I think I may do a deep dive on Japanese game shows today. Just putting it out there. That shit's hilarious.
Bug out of here, so I'll catch y'all later. Okay?
Japanese game shows, like which ones?
Later.
There was an old
They're
one.
all amazing.
They're all amazing. But the one that I remember was, way back in the day, there was one called Endurance. And like the opening act of these people trying to get, so that it's like a process of elimination kind of game. The opening one is like 100 freaking people in jogging shorts getting towed bare-assed by a tractor over like rocks and shit like that. It's like, oh my god. It just cracks me the fuck up. And if you do need a laugh, I strongly recommend Binocular Soccer. That's a classic.
Yeah, the Japanese definitely have
Go look at it.
some interesting forms of entertainment. I think it's where Star Trek Picard drew its inspiration from for all their new technology.
Hey, spoilers, man.
I didn't spoil anything.
Why
I
is
didn't
this
spoil
show?
anything.
What are we? I mean, I guess if Scopely ever goes under, I mean, we can still do the podcast. We'll just keep talking about the same bullshit we normally talk about because I feel like half of our show is just people sitting around shooting the shit.
Well, I mean, we have a majority of people here that are from server 34 or 45, and we can't talk about any of the drama, so
That's
we
right.
gotta fill time with Japanese game shows.
We got some 20 folks in here. We got a 66. I'm telling you, I wish
Everyone's
there
so
was a fucking,
shy, though.
I want
Or
there
there's
to
no
be
drama.
so bad. Let me see. I'm looking right now on the fucking US servers. There is a fucking server 69. I want to get someone on from server 69. We need to do this.
Make it happen.
We need to figure out server 69, and then like 5 years from now, we'll get somebody on from server 420, and we'll get them both on at the same time.
Pars is already here.
Pars is asleep.
That's true.
Why are we having... Oh, God. I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat.
I'm awake now.
Oh, you're awake now.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Pairs.
Hello.
Buenos tacos.
Yeah. You know what? Pars would be a good person to talk to. How about all these companies that are fucking dropping their drug tests?
I don't drug test my employees.
Well, you wouldn't have any employees if you did, probably. So
You'd have to fire yourself.
I mean, considering that I get high with them, yeah, I probably wouldn't.
You could go the opposite way, though. Like, okay, we ran a panel and I see no psilocybin, so we're gonna have to let you go.
Yeah, you have to have THC in your system for you to get hired by me.
That was a
I guess I can't get a job with you.
that was a quote from one of my former bosses. He would
You don't want the kind of jobs I have to offer. They're a little dirty.
Hmm.
Well, no,
Okay.
that could sound intriguing. Dirty how?
not the dirty you want.
I'm a
Fine.
special.
Oh,
I'm
alright.
a special needs care provider. And I have the highest level of license that one can have in the state of California, and that means that I deal with the worst cases when it comes down to behaviors and disabilities for the special needs clients that I take care of.
Well, see, now that took a turn towards serious stuff that I can't really joke about. So,
Yeah.
damn it,
Yeah,
man.
so we're gonna need
Yeah.
to move on.
Yeah.
I think this is why Pars needs a lot of chemical enhancement along with his team.
It's not an easy job. There's there's just a lot of behaviors and things that we have to take care of to make sure that people don't hurt themselves or others, and they're comfortable and they're safe, and they're well taken care of. There's a lot that goes into doing that when the people that you're trying to do that for are kicking, screaming, throwing feces at you, biting you, trying to use weapons.
Definitely just got a picture in my head. But you know,
That sounds-
isn't it handy? Isn't
sounds
it amazing for someone who cares for their fellow human so much? Pars is such a cocksucker in this game.
Well,
I'm really not though.
he's really not though. It's he's an asshole to people that are assholes to him.
Yeah. See, my motto is I return the energy that's given to me.
He's such a psycho. He's actually playing STFC with the volume on.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I have to admit, I heard that and I was like, wait a minute, I know that sound. Why the fuck is that sound on?
Yeah, I was
I
writing
haven't.
hostiles on my iPad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do
I
that.
haven't.
My
I
bad.
haven't used audio on STFC in 2 years.
Yeah, like I turned it off. I think when I first started playing, and I've never turned it back on. Like I
Yeah,
don't.
like
I dead silence is perfect for me for this game.
when I first started playing, like the ominous sort of like background music was kind of cool. It was like chill, but the constant fucking. I was like, no, I was hearing that shit in my sleep. I turned it off.
Well, like after you hear it about 20,000 times, it gets to be a little too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Yeah. So,
And normally I agree with you. Yeah.
well, I tell you what, we're about in what close. We're a little over an hour in, and we're literally talking about nothing. I feel like this is probably a good stopping point.
Probably.
That's a
I
good
would
one.
tech. Boom.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's
Okay.
time to wrap things
I'm
up.
always.
Or we could talk about server 34. Just saying.
No.
Yeah, we
So
don't have to talk about server 34. I'm okay not talking about that.
yeah. Sorry, dude. It's pretty.
There are
Yeah.
500 something messages worth of server 34 nonsense. I encourage all of you listening to read them all and see how ridiculously unhinged the server is.
And
You know,
yes.
You know what I'm gonna go do right now is get outraged over a copy pasta fucking Wikipedia post.
Oh god, dude.
That was
You know, it's funny. At first, I thought whoever that was talking to me, and I was like, imagine joining a server and not realizing who the owner of the server is. But then I realized he was talking about someone else. I was I was like, wait, what? What are you doing right now? Anyway, tech, yeah, it's you do your thing. We always chop up the outro.
Yeah. Next arc is going to suck even more, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Wonderful.
You know what they'll try to do. I'm going to throw out a complete guess here, which is going to be completely wrong. They're going to add another Ferengi officer. This time it's going to be for combat. You're going to steal Latinum every time you hit a ship.
How can they have combat Ferengi officer? Like Ferengis aren't anything having to do with combat. Not really. They always run.
So it's an impulse speed officer.
They were supposed to be the big baddies of Star Trek: The Next Generation, but
I mean, another speed crew, that could be cool.
actually, good point, Knifebeard. Nog is a combat officer.
Dude, Nog never shot anybody. He lost his fucking leg. He's not ever. I don't know. I'm just saying, if I'm picking a fire team, Nog's not at the top of the list.
Yeah.
It's true. Must be to do something with their ears. Umox. Umox is going to be the ability. Nope, nothing.
I mean, what is the actual ability? Your officers orgasm faster?
So here's the next question. Here's the next question. If Ferengi's sexual pleasure comes from their ears, do they even have dicks? Tune in next time when we leave you hanging. Thank you.
On that note, this has been Trek Talk. I'm TechMan16.
Bing bong.
And I'm Handy.
And we'll see you guys next time. All right, feel free to join the after party to talk about Server 34 drama.